Hello! In this video, we're going to take a look at what you can do and see in GoGuardian during a session. If you look at the top, you can see that when I go to my classrooms in GoGuardian, I have one session that is live, and that is this 6K technology class that is here in the middle. You can also see that it's live because it says Go to Class. The other classes, the 6G technology and the 7A elective, both say Start Class. So if I had forgotten to schedule a class session, I could click this Start Class and be able to see that class. However, I have scheduled the 6K technology class, so I'm going to click Go to Class. I am now in my 6K technology class. I have sorted my students by online versus offline. You can also sort by first name or last name. One important thing to note is that when you start a class session, all students enrolled in your class will show on your screen, regardless if they're in the classroom or not. If you do want to exclude a student because they are sick that day or out of your classroom with an intervention specialist or with another teacher, or there's a schedule change that day, you can simply go to the three dots next to that student's name and click Exclude Student. A menu will pop up that says, are you sure that you really want to exclude this student? If you do exclude that student, they will stay excluded for the rest of that session. If you do want to add them back to your session because maybe they've come back from working with the other teacher, you can click the Re-Include button to bring them back into your view. I have excluded the students here that are not currently online, and I can tell that they are not online by the gray dot at the top of their computer here. I do, however, have one student, Test 1B student, that is online. So now we'll take a look at what we can see that Test 1B student is doing. So you first start in the screens, where you see the student screens. If you click on a tile, you'll see it says Click to Expand. So if we click that, it pulls up, this is what Test 1B student is looking at right now. They are in a Google Classroom assignment. And that is their active tab over here. And that is titled My Typing Goals is what they're on. They also have two other tabs open, their Google Drive and a Google Sheet. If I were to see that they were not supposed to be on one of these tabs, I could click the close on the right and it would close that tab for that student. You can also see when you open up a student's tile, from the bottom you can choose to exclude that student, or you could open a new tab for them. Say they don't have their active tab open that they should be on, you can click this to open a tab for them so they're in the right place. You can also lock their device if you want them to stop and pay attention. And the last one here, screenshot, is if you see that you want to take a screenshot of what they're doing at that time, click screenshot and we'll take a screenshot of their screen that you can access later. Also while in here, if you would like to chat to this student, you can click the chat button. First you would need to turn it on. It is by default turned off, so I would turn the chat on. And then I could send a message here to Test 1B student, the same as you would in a Google Meet or a Zoom or a Teams meeting. You could send a chat just to that student so that you have private comments. If, say, the student is maybe shy to speak up in class, you guys could communicate this way. You can also, if you would like to send an announcement to all of your class, not just this one student, you can click Send Announcement. And right now it says that only Test will get this announcement because that's the only student that I have active. But normally it would send an announcement to any students that are active at that time. Right? And then the last tab up here at the top says Resources. If we click on that, it will show me all of the resources that the student has been on recently. And if I want to open any of those, I could simply click on it and click to open that tab. I'm now going to close out of this one student's tile, and I'm back here to all of the students. So here, in addition to screens, you can also click on timelines. The timelines will take you to all of the students and you can see what tabs they have been on and for how long. Each new tab is denoted by a favicon such as here's the Google Classroom favicon. So I can see that during all of this time, this student, test 1B, has been on their Google Classroom. And then here they switch to a different tab, and here another different tab. So we had screens. This is timelines. We also have screenshots. I have not taken any screenshots from student 1B, but if I had, I could click on those to choose those screenshots here. And the last tab here is call students. So I'm going to go back to our screens, which is where we first opened up when we went into our 6K technology class. We've talked about screens, timelines, screenshots, and call students. Over here, I currently have the chat turned on because remember we clicked to talk to test student 1B and send them a private comment, so my chat is now on. I can turn that off or on here. As you can see, we also have two more items available next to chat. We have off-task alerts, which if you click on the gear, it explains this will highlight students if they're browsing a website that's not related to the class subject. As of right now, the only class subjects that they have off-task alerts available for are English, social studies, math, and science. And this will give a highlight around a student if that student is off task for more than 30 seconds. And then the next one is that there is no scene applied. If you click on this, you can create a new scene for this particular class. You can add a list of allowed websites, that means that's all that you want them to go on, or a list of blocked websites, that means you do not want them to go onto those websites during your class time. One last thing while we're on our screens page here is that I want you to know are these three dots. Anytime there's three dots, that always means there's more. So if you click on those three dots, that is just another way that you can lock the student's device, open a tab for them, exclude a student, or send a chat message to that student if you have your chat turned on.